Protecting mental health, be the self-starter. Series 3, diving into our emotional worlds. Episode 1, our conscious and unconscious emotion traffic. Over the past 3 years, we have experienced a stormy COVID-19 pandemic. Driven by the survival instinct, we might have experienced a lot of emotions. Now that society is gradually moving towards normalcy, what about our emotions? This episode explores how our emotions are generated consciously and unconsciously in the emotional system, and how we can turn unconscious instinctive reactions to conscious response. COVID-19. Looking back at the early days of the pandemic, we all felt at a loss. Based on fear and survival instinct, we might have participated in queuing or snapping up various prevention materials online. And there are still palpitations of experiencing a different degree of panic and anxiety. Are these emotions and reactions normal? Each emotion has a special meaning that allows us to understand our current state of mind. According to neuroscience research, emotions are produced by the limbic system of the brain, sending signals that drive the body to prepare properly. Over years of human evolution, emotions and behaviors have evolved into consciousness, and we are able to respond rationally and appropriately to changes in our environment. But we still retain unconscious emotions. The root of unconscious emotion. What is unconscious emotion? I recalled one shopping experience in the big sale. A salesperson recommended enthusiastically the big sale of soup products. She stressed that if I bought one packet and paid an extra $10, I would be given an extra pack and so on. The more, the cheaper. And this special offer was valid in this 1-hour special promotion. Suddenly, I sensed the urgency to act instantly. My heartbeat was fast with the face hot. The hypothalamus was working by sending instructions to my body to prepare for a quick purchase action. This is the unconscious path my emotion was navigating. Most likely my amygdala was about to be hijacked. I left the scene immediately to give myself space to experience the emotional reactions that arose instantaneously. The root of conscious emotion. When we allow ourselves to pause, we give the brain time to send information to the cortex for higher order processing, and then to the hippocampus. When the hippocampus receives the information, it organizes, stores and remembers it. Then, our emotions are relatively conscious, and our decisions are more accurate. Be aware of our emotion traffic. A few months ago, the topic of emigration hit many families. I have shared that if we allowed ourselves to process the emotions emerged when considering if the time is right, geographical and social conditions are favorable, we may be in a better position to make an informed decision. According to neuroscience research, we have evolved a conscious emotion system, but our primitive and automatic responses are still at the heart of emotion. In the case of emigration, if we find many relatives and friends leaving the hometown, this may trigger anxiety that might drive some of us to act impulsively. Conversely, if we pause and think, our brains are allowed to transmit information to the cortical area for higher order processing. This brings our emotions to consciousness. This conscious route is slower but helps to produce conscious awareness and a more thoughtful response. Summary. Looking back on the challenges of the 3-year pandemic, we often find ourselves in a stressful environment with mixed and conflicting emotions. In fact, there are 2 routes in the emotional brain. One is the fast route that triggers amygdala sending messages to hypothalamus for flight, fight, or appeasement to save our lives. The second one that has sensory information transmitted to the sensory cortex is slow but allows us to make conscious response. With the understanding that there are 2 routes for us to navigate our emotional worlds, we can cultivate our wisdom to be the master of the emotional brain. Author Dr. S.P. Chan, Doctor of Psychotherapy and Counselling. The University of Edinburgh, UK. Master of Science in Mental Health, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Master of Science in Psychiatry, Cardiff University, UK. The 24th of March 2023.